And we are live.
Live.
Welcome to another bi-weekly episode of Off Centered. How long has this thing been running? Me and Brad started this in like 2020, maybe. This might be 5 years old, this sucker.
You don't know
some hosts. Yeah. I'm like Regis Philbin.
Exactly.
Is that his name? Yeah, we had
it was his name, but yeah.
Did he pass away?
No.
Yeah.
Did he?
Regis?
Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus.
I'm pretty sure Regis has passed away.
Well, didn't he have Kathy Lee Gifford, and then he had somebody else, and then he had
Kelly Ripa. Kelly Ripa,
yeah.
And Michael Strahan replaced Regis, right?
So here we go.
It was Ryan 5 years ago. It wasn't like it was recent.
I know 5 years ago is when we started this, 2020.
I think it was pre-COVID or like around COVID time, like when that happened.
Wait, are we talking about Regis Philbin or Offset?
Yeah, no, Regis Philbin.
Oh, okay. Oh, we've already got some chat. I'm already behind on chat. Brad Noble, what's going on, buddy? This is the guy that won. I'm pretty sure Brad won the second place Will Levis Prism Silver PSA 10 that I ended up buying for him. And now he's probably like, shit, I should have just picked a different player. But here we are. You never know with these damn quarterbacks.
Nope. Never know.
Never know.
Zach Pierce, what's going on? I'm only behind by 5 comments. Who dat? Pick 6 cards. We will be back relevant. The New Orleans Saints will be back in 2029. Just be patient. We'll be back.
That's when you start getting good.
Robert Chattel. Wow, only 2 people watching the stream. So little tidbit.
4 of us on here.
One, shot up to 10.
Yeah, we so it's going to show different numbers for each channel because we're streaming it to 17 different channels. So I've got some, Neo's got some, Steve's got some, and Ham. Is Ham on this thing too?
Yeah, Ham's on this thing.
I've got one.
All 4.
On my channel, I got 33 new subs right now. I'm doing good.
There we go.
Dustin literally has 17 channels on his own, so that alone is like half.
Yeah, right.
I'm playing the ball.
Channels Dustin have now. He hasn't even got a second channel now.
Quantity.
That's right.
One channel just wasn't big enough to hold all of Neo's content.
Yeah, and you have this much knowledge and these many great takes. You have to spread the wealth.
Now, Rob,
you know what triggered Neo? What triggered Neo is I was like, man, I swear this is what triggered you, and this was why you started it. In our group chat, I said, man, Neo, how do you feel about me I'm going to be a TCG thought leader?
Said, I couldn't let that happen. I couldn't let that happen to the people.
He was like, "Oh my god, I'm like leave." He's like, you put like some meme on there, like I'm leaving the chat or whatever.
Now, Rob, you can't monetize that right away, right? Or can you piggyback off your other channel?
No, you have to you have to jump through the hoops just like anybody else.
So the hoops are horrible now.
That's not too bad.
You'll be the worst part.
The original hoops was 100 subscribers, and you were monetized. That's when
now it's 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. It's actually the watch hours that are the biggest pain.
Those were the good old days, man. Those were the good old days when you could pick up like huge views. Nobody was making content. Nobody was making content. So that all changed. Okay, Ben Burrows coming in. Yay or nay to the Heath Ledger cut auto? Is this something you were looking at, or Steve?
It's in Top Transcendent. I think they announced it today that there's going to be a Heath Ledger cut auto. I don't know what they cut for it, though. I didn't dig into it that deep.
We got a catfish in the chat. Look out. We got a bottom feeding catfish.
King of cards, baby.
I think
we got to hook that catfish.
I think I mean, a cut auto of Heath Ledger, everything just has to be revolved around the price. I mean, like a lot of cut autos aren't necessarily.
The Skeens is in hand. The video will drop on Friday.
He covered it.
Yeah, damn it.
Top secret.
I already know the grade.
I didn't show the cert number, so you can't even look it up that way. Okay.
It's a 6. It's got to be a 6.
Oh, that
was going to be tomorrow, but I got a different spicy video dropping tomorrow, so I had to push the get there on Friday.
You got the random 6.
It is not a 6.
Neo got the first 11.
Yes. Well, my group submitter is Nat Turner, so I got the PSA 11 on it.
You're like, hey, I'm just going to send this in. Yeah, he walked it in for you.
I didn't show it, but that's actually the first ever PSA Black Label.
The first PSA Black. Yeah.
Just imagine if they ever did that. If they did
red
that,
label. They call it a red label. It's their new thing.
That would be actually really cool.
I had a conversation with Ryan, and I said, Ryan Hogue, I said, let's create the PSA red label, and you can put it on my skeins for the first time.
Zach, I don't run ads on this. So I think Neo might run ads. So
I don't run ads during the live.
Now, look, if you're watching on my stream, I want to know this because I don't run ads on the live. And so
I don't think I do.
Ads? If anyone, I want to know if people actually see ads on this because I don't think any of us.
I think it puts ads on it once it posts, like the next
once
day.
It posts, like a regular video.
When it posts, because it allows me to go in and choose to add.
You can run at there's a button in YouTube Live you can click, like I can literally click right now and insert an ad during the live stream.
Then you hear the word cha-ching in the background. It says 3 cents.
I feel like we answer this Mahomes question every
week.
For
people like me and Dustin, it would be like 7 cents. For you, him, it might be 3 cents.
Do you think?
I got a coupon code right now.
I think we've covered this multiple times on the Mahomes question.
Is Mahomes overpriced, baked in? What happens to his price if and when the Chiefs three-peat? I love how he says if. It's when.
When.
The Chiefs three-peat, 4 rings in 5 years.
I know we for sure talked about this on the last live stream.
Yeah, I mean, it's always going to be brought up. I mean,
angry at me because I said that like 5 years ago.
Well, you're not playing against Mahomes. You're playing against the referees in the NFL and what they want. You got the team colors already in the logo.
But what we're talking about is card values. Like, it doesn't make a difference. Yeah. If he wins a Super Bowl, it's not going to make a difference.
No.
And if he loses, it probably won't make much of a difference. And that's the same case with everybody. And it's been the same case with Mahomes over the past 3 out of 4 years. And it'll be that way again. I think last time we kind of thought that maybe if he reaches closer to Brady status, then maybe you start seeing the needle move a little bit. But even still, when you look at Brady, once he retired, his stuff went down in price too. So
yeah, let me see if I can pull up some data. Hold on a second.
I think his silver's like 4K right now, maybe 5K. I don't remember.
Does market movers have just like a Patrick Mahomes? They do, right? Just like a Mahomes.
So the Mahomes silver is sitting between like 4 and 5K. That card hasn't moved.
It's flat. It stayed basically flat all year long.
Yeah, what I was going to say is like the spec money is already in.
That card hasn't moved in 3 years. If it's still sitting between like 4 and 5K, there may have been a spike somewhere, like an outlier or something like that. But like I remember dealing that card at my first Culture Collision when I set up, and that's what the card was going for then.
Here, Dustin, you can share my screen if you want.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get back to it.
Host. I'm a better host.
Hello, Shelby. Shelby's watching. I'm making sure I say hello to Shelby.
What's up, Shelby?
Let's see. Oh, yeah, look at that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's crept up some. It was down.
That's jumped a little bit.
Late 2023, it was 3K.
That's been a card that's been shilled to death as well. My God, that card has been shilled to death.
Late 2023 is when it dipped down. But then prior to that, it was 4K. And then most of this year, it's been 4K-ish. And then it's crept up to around 5.
Yeah, 2.5 years around the same price.
It's like the one guy that sold.
I think it's a great card.
$1,000.
Yeah. It is a
peak of the market.
I think it's a great card, but regardless of what Mahomes does for the rest of his career, I don't know what causes that card to really go up. It's his base rookie. I know the PSA 10s are tough because it has a print defect. That's really what makes it more valuable because it's not like the card's really rare.
Well, I keep waiting for it's not going to be this year, but I'm waiting for him to get a resurgence to the team because I feel like the team's winning with a lot of help right now, and I don't know if Tyreek Hill goes back there because he lacks a true receiving core, and the running game's been always shoddy on that team. It's either being anybody can run or they just hang out a guy that can't do anything, and they're winning with smoke and mirrors right now.
It's literally it's Mahomes it's a Mahomes scramble. It's a Mahomes flop out of bounds or a late slide to draw a flag, or it's a 10-yard pass to Kelsey. That's literally the entire offense. I watched that. Who'd they beat? The Texans?
Yeah.
I mean, there was nothing downfield, and maybe the Texans just weren't giving up anything downfield, but I don't think he took one shot, maybe one shot downfield. I don't remember it. I mean,
yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah, but like when we discussed him this last time, we talked about he could retire tomorrow and he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, right? His legacy's already written. So it's kind of like if Mahomes comes out next year and has the best wide receiver crew in the league and he passes for 5,500 yards and 45 touchdowns, it's not going to matter.
Oh, no, I think that'll matter.
You think the stats are going to matter?
Yeah, because they're going to hype him up all season. 100%. Yeah.
I mean, the thing is,
he hasn't been hyped up. He hasn't been hyped up his entire career since he's become a starter.
This year he has not. This year he hasn't.
All the talk is about the referees in Mahomes.
Correct.
For Mahomes,
but they don't have a referee
that Mahomes isn't hyped up right now. I mean, he's already to the AFC Championship game.
I mean, what's his ceiling? His ceiling would be the GOAT, and he's already priced as high or higher than Tom Brady.
That's what I'm saying. Where is it? And when you say you see movement due to stats, do you see the card doubling in value, or do you see it going up a couple $100? Because when you're talking $5K, a couple $100 isn't a lot.
No, I get that.
I don't see it being $10K if he comes out.
It's just how the market reacts.
Wins an MVP.
This market reacts to things weekly.
Yeah, but they're reacting to the young guys. It's the young guys, though. Mahomes has become kind of the old man already.
He's priced outside of most people's jump-in range at this point. Like if you're buying it to hold on to.
About a 9.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, lots of people are priced out.
9 like $1,200.
There's no more speculation on Mahomes cards, basically. Yeah. Every ounce of speculation has been squeezed out of it, and speculation is what drives hype and what drives prices. I mean, look at Jaden Daniels and some of the younger quarterbacks. Speculation. You know, he's played well. Jaden Daniels has played really good, but the speculation that he could possibly get into a Super Bowl in his rookie year has shot his cards through the roof. But nobody's surprised. No one is surprised that Mahomes is in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
People are surprised that Jaden Daniels is in the NFC Championship game, and that's why the cards have gone up.
Yeah, but that whole team's playing well, not just him.
But you know, in the NFL, it's all about the quarterback.
That's a great
I get it. I'm just curious how far that card's going to drop as soon as he's not in the playoffs or even wins the Super Bowl.
Like Jaden Daniels?
Yeah, it's going to fall.
Oh, yeah. The nature of the beast. They've peaked so high that.
But is it 50%?
Anything but a Super Bowl and even a Super Bowl. Again, we're going to come into the off season and everything's going to simmer down to an extent.
Yeah.
We'll see. Hey, we could be totally wrong. Maybe nobody can see the future. Who knows?
Another Super Bowl will be 4, right?
Yeah.
You're right. I mean, you're still chasing Brady so when it becomes more realistic that he could possibly beat Brady, then you might get a little bit more hype about it. But sitting at 4, if he wins 4, it's still going to be kind of a lukewarm feeling of, yeah, he's got 4, and that's a lot. And he's a hell of a quarterback, and he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Mm-hmm. He's the best to ever play. But will he still catch Brady? Will still be the question. It won't start getting, if he gets a couple more Super Bowls, then people will start talking about that.
He might get a little bump up just from the FOMO factor and the hype factor, but it'll probably be what it normally does. It'll spike up a little bit and then probably level back out.
Yeah, but and that's what we're saying. When we're talking about cards moving or the needle moving on something, are we talking about a couple $100? Or are we talking about 30%?
Yeah, because that's got to jump quite a bit just to cover your eBay fees.
Yeah,
if you bought today at $5K and then hoping he wins the Super Bowl to quick flip it, like that's got to jump a significant amount of money to actually make anything on it.
Unless, I guess, big whale money comes in. That's the other kind of X factor that you never really know. Collectibles, it's always about which way the whale money is moving. And if it decides that it wants these particular cards, then that could be a catalyst. But it wouldn't be, I don't know. It wouldn't be because, everybody is taking out loans to buy Mahomes cards.
And I forget who it was that mentioned it earlier. I mean, that card does have a little bit of an edge on it in the 10 because it is lower pop. There's only what is it? There's 960 in a PSA 10 and 3,000 in a PSA 9.
What the hell are you referring to? Like Ziggy's like sound of envy, in my opinion. Envious of what? Are you referring to me? What I was saying about Mahomes cards? Are you talking about Jaden Daniels? What the hell are you talking about? If you're going to make a statement like that, at least be specific.
Yeah, I already bought and sold my Mahomes. Admittedly, too early on my Mahomes stuff. I never had a 10 of this card, but I had a few 9s, and I sold them on the way up. But yeah, I sold all my Mahomes before it hit peak because I thought just like with everything else, everything went up. I listened to you all last week and listened to the Spitballing Guys. That's a great channel, and it seems like a lot of people are downsizing or moving to non-sport cards in 2025. You were listening to Phil talk about the Pokemons. Do we have a take on this for non-sports? We're kind of like, I feel like we're all over this. This is something that we've been doing for a while, not just in 2025. Mm-hmm. And I know that Neo and I, we've got second channels about Pokemon stuff, TCG stuff, but we've been doing non-sports for years now, just because of, I mean, there's probably a variety of reasons for that, really.
Yeah, I have no vested interest in Pokemon or any TCG stuff. I mean, other things like pop culture stuff, I've been doing that for a long time because that's mainly what my personal collection was made up of. And then I saw a small opportunity to make some money on it. And like the last show I set up at, which I don't set up at shows. So when I say my second show and out of two that I've set up at was all pop culture stuff, pretty much entire showcase of it. And it sold well just because it was different. Anything that's different and refreshing is always, and it's not going to appeal to as many people, but the people that see it tend to want it. So that's the experience that I've had anyway. Flipping it, buying it, grading it, flipping it. You have to find the person that, say, for instance, likes the Family Guy to buy your Family Guy cards, right? You're not going to find as many of those at a sports card show, of course, but the people that are walking around that see it, and most of the time it's people that want it. They don't want to buy it to resell it. They want it because they want to collect it. And that's why you're able to sometimes get sales on it. Even sometimes above comps, if comps exist on something. I've sold stuff at the National for over comps because somebody just wanted it for the collection and didn't even know like the card existed.
Yeah. Yeah. Non-sports offers, sports cards are awesome. Obviously, we all have sports cards, but when you go to a show and you see a lot of the same cards, non-sports does offer kind of unique chases. There's sets that people don't know about. I learn about new non-sports stuff all the time. Steve, what was it? That Dan Aykroyd autograph, the Ghostbusters set from 2016. That was when I learned on the stream one time, and I went and got the Dan Aykroyd autograph. There's all sorts of cool non-sports chases that, if you're collecting cards, that's kind of a nice kind of little thing that you can add in with the sports cards. So, yeah.
To me, non-sports has better equilibrium on end users. Like non-sports is a smaller market, but the supply and the end users is more in balance with each other than in sports cards.
Well, I think there's less try to speculate and flip on non-sport versus sport. And I think there's a better collector base currently in non-sport than there is in sport because everything's about the quick flip, the big card, move along where people have a collectability with the Marvel, the Pokemon, you get whatever it may be. There's things they like, they just want to have to keep. And we've been lacking that.
And along those lines, because you said in sport, the thing is I sold pop culture cards at a sports card show to sports card collectors. It's just that people don't just like one thing. People don't just like sports, right? I mean, maybe there's people out there that all they like is sports and that's it. And I'm not talking from a hobby standpoint. I'm just talking from a lifestyle standpoint. Mm-hmm. But we all like music. We all have our favorite movies and our favorite TV shows, and we have our favorite actors, actresses, whatever. We have our favorite anything, name it, walk of life, politicians. We have our favorites, people that we either relate to or we're nostalgic about or something. And being someone who collects sports cards, but then being able to see something else that I really like on a card because I'm already turned on by cards because of sports cards. It's cool to see something like that. Most of the time when you see something like that, you buy it on the cool factor, not necessarily on the value factor. And that cool factor is going to be different for everybody because everybody has different likenesses.
Well said. Yep. All right. Steve, are you flipping any cards in 2025? I titled this Still Flipping Sports Cards in 2025. It feels like there's less opportunity, right or wrong? Now, preface by saying there's always flips to be had. So I understand that there's always opportunity because there's just different things. But as a whole, I'm seeing a lot less vlogging on YouTube. I just don't see a lot of it at all. I don't see a lot of the usual suspects out there kind of doing their thing. And maybe they are and they're just not videoing it or whatever. I know shows are busy, so that's not in question, but I wanted to get your take on it.
Yeah, I have lots of cards that I need to get graded. Right now, PSA is backlogged. So again, we're kind of in the traffic jam of stuff. And that's my own fault because I just got, I don't want to say I got lazy because I've been very busy. I just kind of took the pedal off of grading and selling because I got backed up on some slabs that I wanted to consign. And, you know, I'm a one-person operation when I flip cards and with a full-time job and, you know, all the shipping and listing and all that stuff. But I have a nice stack of cards that I need to get graded. But I'm really not in any hurry because it's not stuff that's really fluctuating in the market right now. It's older stuff. It's stuff from the 90s and things. So they're more collector-based cards as opposed to cards that I need to get in and out of quickly due to trends. The funny thing is, so one of the more recent cards that I got was that Redemption that came back, that wrestling card that was a Steiner Brothers card. And I was wondering if one of those cards hit the secondary market, what it would go for, because it's a redemption and there's 25 of them. You don't know how many have been redeemed, how many be returned. And I just watched one hit eBay the other day and I put it on my watch list to see if it would sell because I have one. So I have somewhat of a vested interest in it. And it sold like within hours for a $500 buy it now price with no best offer or anything. So I went back and checked my records to see what I bought that redemption card for. And I bought it for $180. So I have a quick flip, not a quick flip, because I had to wait for the redemption to come back. But I mean, I have a flip possibility on the table right now. If I wanted to sell that card, you know, even if I came in under that $500 mark, buying it for $180 when I bought it, you know, I could double my money on that card right now, but I like the card a little too much to sell it already. It's not a long term. It's not what I would call a coffin card. I like the card, but you know, I would use it to get into something else that I like more.
That's a solid card. It's easy to move whenever you want. It's not one of those cards that's going to go up or down realistically because there's not so many of them. We don't even know how many are being redeemed. You might have redemptions in packs still. It's very rare, and let's face it, those individuals in those sports don't live very long. So, and it's an iconic card from that time frame of a matchup or a tag team.
Yeah, well, at Neo, have you seen that the Undertaker Kane? There's an Undertaker Kane like yours on eBay right now. That I got it on my watch list, and that thing is already at $1,400.
Crazy.
1,400?
It's already at $1,400.
Yeah, it's the same one I have.
Exact same one that you have, the Immaculate Kane
That's
Undertaker duel.
That's their only dual autograph
out of 25.
Yeah. I have it on my eBay watch list right now.
I don't like check the values on those wrestling autos.
I'll search Immaculate Dual Autos because I might look for a cool one to add to my collection, and I happened to see that one on there. And when you got yours, I was completely jealous of it, you know, because I thought not wishing anything bad against you. I was just like, damn, that's a hell of a card. I wish I would have seen that. But so I saw one pop up on eBay and I put it on my watch list, and that thing's I'm not going to bid on it at $1,400, but it's at $1,400. And I
was watching it too. Yeah,
I checked the bid history and it looks solid too.
It looks like, no, it's legit. And that's the only dual autograph.
It's a tough card. It's their only dual long card.
Yeah, like the Steiner Brothers. They haven't done a new one, but that's what makes it so unique and rare.
Well, you're definitely not getting one now because Panini doesn't have the license.
Well, that and those people that watch that time frame and know the story behind it and the brothers and the way they sold it, like it just makes it more iconic.
I'm checking. It looks like one sold in November that I didn't realize.
What'd that go for?
That's what I'm looking up because it's a best offer. So I'm just double checking to make sure.
It might have popped up and went straight back down.
I don't know if someone. Well, no, it's sold. I just don't know if someone binned it or if it was a best offer accepted.
That's when I start watching serial numbers on cards.
This was from November 11th. It sold for $1,550 on best offer.
Yeah, I think this one's going to surpass.
What did I pay for that? Like $1,100.
I think it's probably going to touch $2,000.
I think I paid around $1,000 for that.
You were in that $1,000 ballpark, somewhere around 11 or something.
I'll have to double check the video
because we were in the.
My coffin card has a flash.
I got that from MC, I think.
You were down in the lounge by yourself.
No, I got it from RBI Crew. I think that came from RBI Crew.
Maybe they have a lot of good wrestling stuff. I just remember walking in the lounge and you were over there sitting by yourself, and I filmed, and I was like, man, look at that lonely guy over there. But then when I walked over there, you showed me that, and I was like, oh man, it's a hell of a card. I
remember when I bought it, they were like sad to see it go.
Mm-hmm. They have lots of good stuff usually.
That's like RBI Crew is one of the first tables that I always look for to show.
That's where I got my Harrison Ford Adam Driver.
Yeah,
at the National, they're the National stacked.
Yeah. They always have. They usually have like 3/4 of their case is usually not even sports cards. Like it's usually like they had the. I was looking at the Ryan Reynolds auto that they had at the National.
The card that they had that I wish I'd bought now, because I've only seen it a couple of times, is that Will Ferrell auto, that on-card auto with it's like a baseball card. It's like a baseball Will Ferrell auto. It's got a patch on it. Yep. And I think they had it for like $2,000. I've only ever seen it one other time on eBay, and somebody snapped it up. But he doesn't have a lot of kind of unique, I think it's some sort of pack pulled auto. I can't remember what set it's out of.
Yeah, that was when he played all the spring training games, and he actually played in the games for that run. It was kind of also a promotion thing, but he physically pitched, he physically played first base, physically batted.
It's a really cool card. Yeah. Damn it. Another one gone. All right, Zach Pierce. Dallas show is crowded. I've only heard the Dallas show just keeps on getting more and more crowded. More TCG than ever, in my opinion. This has been what I've seen at my local show. Granted, it's not the Dallas show. It's a lot smaller, but it just feels like it's just more and more TCG at my local show. Sounds like they have also a lot in Dallas. Neo, do you think that that's a sign of the times, or do you think that has more to do with like big time, 151 prismatic? There's a bunch of kind of hyped products that are coming out and people are excited about that. So they're bringing stuff like that.
I think it's the dealers know what people are looking for, and they want to have cards that people want. Like Pokemon's hot right now, so they want Pokemon cards in their case.
Now in Dallas, was it Pokemon cards, a lot of singles, or was it product?
A couple dealers that I talked to, they made it sound like it was both.
Yeah, so here, almost everybody that has Pokemon cards here is pretty much almost straight Pokemon. They might have some Dragon Ball and some other stuff, but rarely do the sports card guys have Pokemon, and if it's always a Charizard that's graded type deal. Otherwise, I haven't seen a blend where almost the people that I talk to, they're like, they don't know anything about Pokemon. Like they want to get into it, but they're not willing to learn. So they just stick to the sports cards. But we are almost at, I would say, 60-40 right now, 40% Pokemon / TCG, and then 60% sports cards on my show.
How has that changed? Is that how it's always been, or has that changed over the last couple of years?
In the last year and a half.
Hey, I got a phone call from Kenny Forno. Should I answer it on the live stream?
Yeah, why not? He probably wants to ask you something.
Mute yourself. You don't want to get him in trouble.
Hello?
Let's see what he wants.
Hello? Hey, Steve, what's up? Yeah, what's up? I'm live.
We can hear him.
Hey, Steve, what's up?
Yeah.
What's up, Kenny?
We're heading down to Honduras.
All right. No, you're all right. I just said, hey guys, should I answer this on the live stream?
Hey, Steve, tell him we're at the airport. We're heading down to Honduras.
Kenny says what's up to everybody in the chat. He doesn't care about you guys, me neither.
This is riveting television.
No, it's Neo and Ham and Dustin.
The same stream he was on 2 weeks ago.
The same one you were on.
You were on our show 2 weeks ago, Kenny.
Oh, yeah.
What's interesting, this past Dallas show that just happened, that first show of the year is always...
All right. All right, man. All right, later. He's going to tune in and watch the live stream.
All right, cool.
If he was subscribed to our channels, he would have already known.
Yeah, I know. Is he voting for the YouTube Hall of Fame? Are you voting, Steve?
I got my vote in.
I saw Dustin's
vote. I posted mine just before the show.
You guys barely made the cut. Barely.
Dustin made it. Dustin did some channels, and then he came in on the side and was like, okay, and by the way, I got to vote for my friends.
Steve, you're hanging on by a thread. You've made like 3 videos in the last 6 months.
Look, man, if I haven't made it, we give away.
You give
away a trip to the National. This would be 5 years in a row. If I haven't gone to the Hall of Fame by now, I'm not going to. It's okay. It's all right. But more content that I've been watching lately is a lot of what I would say that, I don't want to say that group, but the people that started that Hall of Fame type, a lot of the vintage guys and things like that. Because I watched that live stream that I referenced in my last video from Midlife Sports Cards, and it was just a fun time live stream. And they were just talking about old baseball players. You could learn a lot from it if you weren't familiar with a lot of it, and it was just good opinions, and it was pretty entertaining. I watched it for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, when they're talking about stuff, there's stories behind things, and that's what that keeps them involved as well.
Well, they were selecting like a baseball player and wondering if this person would hold hobby relevance, through the future. Because we always talk about different eras of players, and then some players from each era they transcend generations and they remain relevant even though they're not playing anymore. Babe Ruth, right? So, I mean, you give tons of examples, but but is there people who have somewhat transcended and are still relevant now, but say 20 years from now may lose some of their relevancy, whether or not because other people are coming in and taking the spotlight, or just because their story ceases to be told, right? So for me, like great players like Jimmy Fox and Stan Musial, I talked about in my video, but I only know about them because my grandfather talked about them. I have a daughter. I don't know if I'll ever have any grandkids. So I won't be talking about Stan Musial and Jimmy Fox to anybody anytime soon because I don't have that person to tell that story to, right? Oh, this is the guys that I like. And plus, I will be talking about the players that I liked in my generation. I'll be telling if I have a grandson or something, I'll be telling them about Cal Ripken, right? I'll be telling them about Dan Marino and things like that. So at what stage does over time do certain people fall out of relevance, and which players continue to actually be almost folklore heroes to the point to where they just remain relevant and their stories are told forever? And I just thought it was a good conversation because they would select the names up and then the panel would kind of like vote on what they thought.
Yeah. I mean, I learned about all the vintage baseball players by watching a VHS of, all the Hall of Famers. And this was probably 1985. Mm-hmm. That's how I learned about them. And then we used to have, what was the baseball theme park that was down here? Boardwalk and Baseball. Mm-hmm. That was the other place you would go. You get a pack of cards that showed all the stats of the players. It had this weird yellow orange with the wood bat on it. It was a cool little set, but you got to see what the impact of the player was, and that's how I learned about that more than anything, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and then there was I have some questions, and we could ask the chat this if they want to chime in. So some players are hobby relevant because of who they are, because of the player that they are or that they were, or things that they did, their legacy and things. And then but is there some players on the other end that are relevant because of the hobby? Actually their card makes them relevant. For me, and this is just for me, so chat, don't be like, oh, Steve, you're full of shit. For me, I wouldn't know who Honus Wagner was if it wasn't for the T206 card. Mm-hmm. So because that card is so relevant in the hobby, I know who that player is. But that's all I know about him is the card. So it's kind of does the card make him relevant in the hobby, or is the card relevant because of him in the hobby?
And I believe the story behind that card too is where he didn't want his image being linked to tobacco products.
Right.
Was part of it.
Yeah, but that's what makes the card rare, is because they had to pull it. But
what I'm short print.
Right. So it makes the card, when you talk about Mickey Mantle, you can say, okay, well, that's the most or second most, if you want to argue the Honus Wagner, it's fair. Most relevant card in the baseball hobby, maybe all of sports card hobby. It's top three, right?
I think Mickey Mantle's overrated.
But do you say,
geez, hey, I'm
throwing in the Mantle
grenades in the trenches.
But because I know more about Mickey Mantle, I knew that his name before I saw the card. So I don't relate to Mickey Mantle through the card. I relate to Mickey Mantle because I've heard about him, and I heard, people tell me about that. I've seen him play, like my grandfather and things like that. And then the card comes along and I see it in the Beckett when I'm a kid, and it's the most expensive card in the Beckett. and you're like, oh, my grandfather's talked about that guy. But with Honus Wagner, it wasn't like that. It was more so I see the card and I relate to the player through the card. I don't know how many people have that kind of same.
It's kind of like Bobby Hebert. You know, he didn't do a lot on the field, but he's just hobby relevant.
He doesn't have any relevant cards.
The New Orleans Saints quarterback from the 80s, Bobby Hebert. It's exactly the same. He's like Honus Wagner. All right, let me answer Hobby Champs real quick. Pokemon market is weird. There will be mid-2000s Pikachus and Charizard promos and rare stuff with low pops. And then you have huge PSA 10 pops on new stuff that sells for $1,000 or whatever. This is exactly what I've been saying, Hobby Champs. This is exactly the thing that I don't understand and exactly the reason why I'm buying the vintage stuff, which, again, vintage Pokemon is 1999, 25 years ago. So the vintage stuff, I'm buying the first edition holo high grade stuff because it's basically trash and everybody wants, you know, all the new ultra modern stuff, which I think is fantastic. Like, it's just hilarious.
Look at that, 1999.
It makes no sense whatsoever, but
worthless.
Yeah. So, but I'm doing a mixed bag. I'm getting some of the new stuff and some of the old stuff, but I'm definitely prioritizing the old stuff because it's just not on the radar for people, which is amazing. What's up, Kenny G?
So a lot of that.
Go ahead.
A lot of that live stream. Well, a lot of that live stream that I was just talking about, it really all revolved around baseball, right? I think that's all I saw them talk about was baseball players anyway. Maybe I didn't see.
Yeah, almost all the vintage guys. That's really all they talk about.
But it would be interesting to have that same conversation for a different sport, like say football. Now, football doesn't go as far back.
I would be in. Yeah, I would.
The values aren't as high. But
we used to have Dakota, and he quit. So,
but what I'm saying, I don't think the list is as long of football players that were relevant.
No, it's not.
60 years ago that are still relevant now. You know what I mean?
What's
as
the
there is in baseball?
Set 50s, or was there a late 40s? I know there was a set, and then it broke off for a few years, and then another set.
There's 48.
Baseball goes back farther.
Yeah, I mean, there's 48 leaf football, and
and then there's like a gap, and then it jumped. Like it didn't go 49, 50, 51.
Right.
Actually, I can tell you right now.
But even if we're not talking about cards, I'm just talking about players that are
the old Beckett
relevant or talked about today.
2004.
We're not going to Culture Collision. I can't speak for Ham, but I'm pretty sure that
it's going on right now. Or it was.
Oh, it is? Is it this weekend?
Yeah.
Ziggy said he's
an extra day this time.
Oh, okay. You know who is there that I want to see? I'm going to have an episode coming up with Bryant, Tampa Card Show Bryant. That'll be coming up on the channel, but I'm pretty sure Brian is out there for Culture Collision.
No, he's at Dallas.
Oh, he went to Dallas. Okay.
Yeah. They don't miss a Dallas show ever.
So I'm shifting my stuff around a little bit this year. I'm going to do GalaxyCon in Richmond. My daughter is 12 and she's all into scary movies that I'm in. Like, we're both into that together. So that's the thing. And look, when you have a 12-year-old, and Steve knows this, he has a grown daughter. I also have a 21-year-old daughter. There becomes a time where you're not cool anymore. And I'm right on the verge of not becoming relevant in her life for, 5 to 7 years, where I'm just like a pain in her ass. She still thinks I'm cool. So we're going to go do all the nerdy GalaxyCon. Bill Shatner's going to be out there. There's wrestlers that are going to be out there. There's going to be, Carrie Ells is going to be out there. There's going to be some cool, actors and stuff that we can meet and stuff. So we're going to go do GalaxyCon, and then there's some sort of like scary movie convention or something that we're going to go to. So
you mentioned his name last time, the Carrie Hughes or however it's pronounced, right?
Yeah, Men in Tights, Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Well, no, we left this live stream and I went and watched Glory. I did. I watched Glory this week. So I was like, it made me that movie. I think of him in that movie.
He's in a bunch of movies. He's in a lot of movies.
For some reason, that movie pops in my mind too. Well, it has an ultimate cast, but he's kind of like a side character. But I went and watched that. USA Cards in the chat was at the Dallas show. I watched his show recap. Congratulations on moving your monster Mahomes. I mean, like if you needed to move it and wanted to, because
what time is
that card was awesome. But hey, man, he got somebody to give him what he wanted for it.
When you start having ever shows,
that's at 9:40. You're probably way far back.
Yeah, we'll get to him. Vintage card, promoters need to start having separate shows for TCG and sports. Ham is right. Very little crossover. Yeah, there's not a lot of crossover. I would agree. Except for it just feels like a lot of the moms and dads out there are they're doing TCG over sports cards. Part of that is just the obvious price point difference. It's just clearly a lot different. There's way different price points for new product on Pokemon. Even if you're buying retail or buying on the secondary market and it's marked up, there's still options at different price points that you can get into for TCG. So not saying that I know there's a lot of, young people that are into sports cards as well, but you don't have to be a Rockefeller, to buy the new Pokemon product like you do with sports card product.
Yeah, because here in Tampa, we have a non-sport show coming up at the beginning of February. I'm told it's the second one. I didn't even know the first one happened. I'm curious if it's just going to feel like an entire Pokemon convention or if it's going to be a true mix of different things. Because they're supposed to be bringing in video game people, toys, as well as non-sports cards.
In Tampa?
Yeah, February 1st and 2nd.
Nice.
Yeah. Same place that they hold the Clearwater card show.
Yeah, Philly sometimes has a non-sports card show, and I've never been able to make it. But I've always been curious as to if by non-sports they mean lots of gaming stuff, or if they actually mean like the old music stickers and cards and old Disney stuff. I'm wondering if it's some of that older vintage stuff. Because honestly, when it comes to pop culture, there's not a lot of modern. When you steer away from the Leaf stuff and I guess the wild card product that we were looking at last year at the National. So most of your old stuff or most of your pop culture stuff tends to be, a little bit on the older side, almost vintage. And then you have a big gap of years where not much stuff was made or movie cards and things. Some movie cards and things were made, but not a lot.
Yeah. Ryan at Breakout Cards, I've seen these pop up as top 25, like non-sports sales videos are pretty cool. I like watching those.
Yeah. Ryan from Breakout Cards is one of the guys. When I was started collecting music cards, he was really into it. In fact, I went on his channel one time as a live stream to show my non-sports collection with all my old music stuff and all that. That was a while back.
What happened here? Okay, so when I was a kid, I remember, and maybe because he was the home run king for a while, Roger Maris. This is another guy that when I was a kid, I remember, man, Roger Maris, like that was a big name. Don't hear it as much anymore.
But because did he kind of just have the year?
Mm-hmm. I just remember as a kid, that was like he was like the home run king, and that was he was.
I don't think he had like a long. Like a really good long all-star style career. I think he had the year with the home runs, but the rest of his seasons were kind of spotty at best.
Yeah, that was that 1 year he had, and then he was out doing Mantle that year, and that was also pushing and driving his lore, let's say, for that year.
There you have it.
Yeah, we have MegaCon coming up on February 6th in Orlando, which is a massive show here or in the area.
What's up, Michael Stone?
Ham, have you guys? I want to ask you a question about breaks. As someone who has zero experience, really, pretty much in either participating or doing breaks, anything like that, or even opening product. Period. You guys know when I go to Walmart, I will like send you guys a text message and be like, "Hey, is this worth buying?" Right?
And we always know.
I'm like, "Oh, my Walmart has some product, guys. Is this worth buying?" But it's kind of like
don't sell yourself short, Steve. You did a break? We did a break together 5 years ago. You did a great job.
That was just a thing for fun.
You did a great job.
But is there a good value out there right now on breaks? And what is the break spot that everybody is clamoring for? So I'm going to get – I know that it was Wemby at one point in basketball. Like most people, or the high dollar spot was the Spurs, right? So It's kind of like, is there something right now? Is it Redskins or Commanders? Is it in football? Is football pretty good across the board because there's so many young quarterbacks? But also when it comes to price point, is there a value out there, or is everything really jacked up by the fact that the quarterbacks are driving the value of of the product up?
The answer is yes, and yes. This draft class right now looks really good. It'd be interesting in a year or two to be able to start comparing it back to the Burrow year and then to the Josh Allen year, which we've already seen what those guys have turned into. But give these group of guys and the guys prior to them, that 4 to 5 years in to get a good look at them, because we're in a turnover on quarterbacks from the generation that we had prior, where we just had elite quarterbacks for 15 plus years. The breaks right now, I mean, your main thing is going to be those top quarterback teams. Jalen Daniels right now, his resale rate's crazy. So that's like a hot potato. You want to get it out as fast as you got it, or get rid of it as fast as you can. The rest of the guys, prospecting wise, there's a benefit. I think Prism's valuable right now this year, because even in some of my drops when I'm at the stores, people are not picking up all the Prism. I know they will be now because of the Jalen Daniels thing, but I was also able to order a bunch of this stuff on Target and Walmart without a problem. Like, it didn't sell out immediately. I think that's your best bet at retail. To get Prism at retail is your best bet right now for a turnaround because of the silver value. It doesn't even have to be an autograph; it just needs to be a silver.
Now, is it just Prism? Because like I showed you guys, my Walmart the other day had Mosaic football.
It's just Mosaic
across the products. I didn't buy it, but when I went back, it was all gone.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It got bought. So
yeah, well, my Mosaic from last week's drop, from when I was there today to see if they'd restocked yet, because I was looking for the Pokemon, all the Mosaics still there, even Absolute's still there. So because of if the blasters were $20-$25, not a problem.
Can you get a
$30-$35? People are like, pound sand. I'm not doing
it. Can you get a Kaboom out of Absolute retail?
Yeah.
You
backpacks,
yeah, but unless you really hit something like that, you're really spending.
It's 100% a loss.
It's all like a boom or bust, right?
It's a hard scratch off. Yeah.
And like I said, is the Commanders, is that the hot spot right now to be? Is that the high spot to be buying in on? Or is that just since the playoffs started? After Jaden Daniels picked up a couple.
Once Jalen Daniels went off a little bit, Caleb Williams cooled off and then kind of picked back up. So Bears, Broncos, Redskins, JJ McCarthy with the Vikings.
It's a solid draft class.
But and that's how things move around, though, because I bet you in the beginning, I bet you to start the season, the high spot would have been Caleb Williams, and the low quarterback would have been Bo Nix. And they're probably it's probably all moved around now.
Oh yeah, it's completely moved around now. I like Bo Nix, medium to short, long term right now. Great coach, knows how to use a quarterback, guy with all the tools. And it's a team that's getting better.
Yeah, who did he used to coach? He used to coach somebody.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh God, damn it. Yeah. Can we trade back for him? We got a first round pick for him. Can we trade him? Can we trade back?
Just think of how bad Drew Brees would have been if he would have had a different coach.
I don't know if it would have affected Brees too much, but the young guys there, like Spencer Rattler, might be slightly better.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think Brees would have been good, but Brees was better with Sean Payton for sure.
Yeah.
Let's shout out Brad's grading reveals. Global's been around since the beginning. I remember Global from. I mean, Steve, you remember him too. I mean, it's like 2020. Brad, I remember. I'm just thinking as you're talking about the grading reveals, where he sent. I think he was sending like 2012 Prism base football, and I remember he'd have like 10 Peyton Mannings in a row, and it would be like 8, 9, 9. 9, damn it, another 9. Like
those. I might be wrong, Global, because there's people that comment a lot, but was Global from like New Zealand or something like that?
Yeah, I think he's from Australia or New Zealand. Yeah.
Well, don't get him confused. That's a bad thing, I think.
That's what. Well, yeah. I mean, it's he's not in the U.S. I don't think he's
on the other side of the planet.
He's
in tomorrow.
We're still hanging in, man. We're still hanging in. 5 years later,
barely by a hangnail.
80 years later. Dallas was packed. Most dealers at TCG are 90s basketball inserts. Yep.
And USA Cards is the one that had the Mahomes. He had a Mahomes field level. So 2017 select field level gold.
Oh, man, that's a sweet card.
BGS 9.5. Yeah. It was a super sweet card. But, I mean, I'm guessing at the time that he got it, it was nowhere near worth what it was when he moved it. So,
yeah. Amazing.
That's the kind of card that is an awesome card, but I look at what I could get for it and what I could get back out of it for my collection with more on the side, and it's kind of like, man,
we'll work on
it for a while.
We need to work on this. Get Dakota back on just for a cameo on Off Centered. I'll work on this. Rob Neo will work on it. We'll see if he'll pop in for 5 minutes.
We'll just attack him in Discord.
I don't even know. Does he have the internet every day of the week where he lives? Wasn't he like rationing his internet time or something?
We haven't seen him on camera. We don't even know if it's really him. Like someone might have taken over his whole identity. We have no idea. We haven't seen him.
I'll mail him a hotspot so he can get on the internet.
That'd be cool to have him join up. We had Kenny Fornos. We need to have Sports Cards Anonymous here for a few minutes.
Is that our new shtick? We just bring back retired content creators 3 years ago.
That's right.
Man, you could refer to me the same way, right? Retired and back.
We're gonna get the hobby box and PSA collector on next. Like, what's the
graded card investor, you mean?
Yeah,
we'll have to have
whatever his name is.
He still does videos, right?
Occasionally it'll pop up on the string on the feed.
I don't think so.
Not like he used to, but I thought.
But he does like it's like the same sort of thing. It'd be like top 10 Bo Jackson.
Yeah, he just listed a video yesterday or the day before.
Yeah, he does them occasionally.
Yep.
Baltimore, I guess Xanax. How do you guys send your cards off to be graded? If you send them, when I send them in myself, I put them in card savers and I bundle them up in groups of maybe 10. Cardboard slab, painter's tape, just as if I was shipping out a card to someone who bought it. PSA label, boom. And you got to make sure you get the small, unless they've changed it, you also got to make sure you get the small PSA label to put on the outside of the package so they can scan, because that'll tell them what return rate or what service you're requesting, so they know how fast to get it into into the process. You go back. I probably got a bunch of videos back because I used to just do video. It won't be titled, "Hey, this is how I send my cards in." There may be from long ago, but you'll random videos when I was just doing my basic hobbying on camera. You'll see me packaging up cards for PSA and such.
What's up, Swaggle? Comic book news, Swaggly in the house, or he was. Maris had 5 or 6 good years.
Neo, when's my Spawn #1 gonna go up?
Oh man, that's such a classic.
Never.
As soon as I autograph the cover.
How about my Spawn #0? When's that one going up?
That's got a better chance than Malibu.
Same answer. Let me sign Flipping Steve on there, and the moment that Daisy Paul stamps it, it doubles in value.
So when I bought
from
this
$2
book,
to $4,
I have this original set of books from when it came out, but I bought this at a yard sale, and I didn't know that this was tucked in the back of it like this. They put 2 in.
Oh, that's a nice.
I found out yesterday. It's been sitting in my house for like 3 years.
Isn't that the one that Dustin you bought like graded a little while back?
Which one?
The Malibu Sun Spawn.
Oh yeah. I've got a graded copy. I've got a 9.6. Yeah, that's it's like the first promo that showed.
See, I pay attention sometimes.
Thank you, Steve. Yeah, Spawn is
waiting for Ham to get on the new Daisy sticker for this year's National, so I can start raising.
I've started working on piecing stuff together. If you got any random photos,
I'll be
People
at the
are
National.
asking.
That's definitely my next card show I'm traveling to as a National. We'll be there.
The National.
I hope to be there.
Hey, we still got to get like an Airbnb.
On Winnebago out front.
Neo, you have your room, right?
Yeah, I booked mine.
Yeah, because rooms are like way too expensive. Too much
money
that I want to spend in Chicago.
Someone commented in my Discord today that everything connected and across the street is basically gone.
Oh, it is. We were looking at stuff.
Oh, it's gone. Yeah.
Oh no, we're going. Yeah, we're going Airbnb.
It's just too like for the price to go to the National for. Man, I could go to like somewhere really, really awesome, like nice. The National will be fun, but without the card show going on down there, that area is just Rosemont. Wow. But what if it wasn't for the show, it wouldn't be worth like going there. So I don't know. It's not like I'm going to like Aruba or something, but they want to charge me like I am because
if you booked early, my hotel was like I think my hotel was like $170 a night, $160 a night, maybe.
Yeah, like
did you read the fine print?
Yeah. When you get there, you pay more.
I've stayed there every time it's been in Chicago.
Yeah, no, the Crown.
Yeah, Crown Plaza is good.
Yeah, Crown Plaza is fine.
Anybody in the chat already have their room booked for the National?
Neo stand at the Crown Plaza, so go to the desk and ask for.
Yeah.
Just say you lost your key and you need your.
Hey, we're here at the National. We're looking for Neo.
Penthouse.
Can you call it? That sounded like Beavis.
Hey, buddy.
All right, Mr. Collect, do you think it's harder for newcomers to get into the hobby on a budget now compared to 5 years ago? So 5 years ago would be January 2020. It seems like we always see our reels of high dollar cards, which isn't viable for many starting. We'll start with you, Ham.
No, because you can get into a break.
Wrong answer. Neo, you're next.
I mean, 5 years ago, is he talking pre-pandemic 5 years ago or like during the peak? If you go back, if you like add 3 months to that, you're in like peak COVID craziness time.
Good time to buy crypto back then too.
Yeah. Time to buy everything.
I mean, if you don't care about high end, like singles now are cheaper than they ever have been, like in the grand scheme of things. Like you can get a lot of nice stuff for pretty cheap because there's so much supply out there. It just depends what you want to do and go after. And the other thing is don't judge your collecting standards based off Instagram reels and social media. We're idiots.
Good Lord, no.
I think it depends on where the question's coming from. Is it coming from how do you want a hobby? Like when you say get into the hobby, do you mean the flipping aspect of it, buying and selling?
There's a lot of low-end singles.
Yeah, the side hustle side, or are you talking about the collector side? Because that's a collector side. You can always find something that you like that you can collect that's less expensive.
I bet you could throw like $100 on ComC right now and build like a really nice player collection or something of someone if there's someone that you like.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many low-numbered, cool-looking parallels and inserts of players that just nobody cares about. That if you just wanted to player collect, you could probably throw something together that was awesome for very little money, as long as it's not like Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, something that's in the hype train.
Awesome. Well, I just lost all my auctions at Hakes. Fantastic.
All right, when's the next auction?
And we move on.
Okay, I like eBay auction.
Yeah, I would agree. It's all about the singles market. There's a budget for everybody on the singles market. Is really that's really the story. But yeah, if you're looking to buy, sell, buy and flip, it's just not as easy as it used to be for sure.
Oh, going back to when I was talking about breaking, what is the cheapest entry point if you were to get on a product like Prism Football? What is the cheapest slot?
The New Orleans Saints slot. How much does that cost?
Browns.
What's the price? because then that's kind of entry level that you're, if you want decent packs.
So cheapest slot in a hobby, probably shoot, what would that be right now?
For Prism Hobby, is that what you asked, Steve?
Yeah.
Yeah, Prism Football Hobby.
And if you're going to do it, I would suggest you do Prism.
Is it usually a case or is it 3 boxes? Like, what's the usual breakdown?
So people sometimes do a half case a lot of times versus a full case.
How many boxes are in a Prism case? Do you know? Hobby?
12, I believe.
Is there 12? Okay.
Yeah. So they'll do a half case, 6 and 6, and then some people are breaking into quarters to allow people to get into a lower entry. I always prefer going at a random, like with a break with a set like this where you have so many good rookies. I like to be in a random because I just like my chances of trying to get one of the top teams that I wouldn't pay the top line to get into.
Yeah, but being in a random isn't going to be your cheapest entry point level. That's going to be because it's going to be an average across the board. I'm asking what is the cheapest.
I think it's your best benefit to hit big at a low cost.
What's the difference in price between like picking the Browns or Saints or picking the random? How does that break down for Prism Football tip? Like ballpark it.
They use what's based on the breaker and what their average return they're trying to get on the break.
I know all of that, Ham, but
Biggie's in the chat. Ask him. He runs a breaking company.
Is there anybody that owns a breaking company in the chat other than the Catfish? Anybody else? All right.
Yeah, but like you said, a one-box team random on a hobby, maybe a buy-in might be $20.
So one-box random
20
team
to $30 for a one
per spot.
But
what if you wanted the cheapest? What if it was pick your team though? Because pick your team is going to be cheaper.
It's gonna be real cheap. I mean, if it's one hobby box, it's gonna be super cheap. Most people only do that on Whatnot streams because people are it's quicker to fill, quicker to rip, quicker to move on. Versus a bigger one, which they'll usually say, "Hey, coming up on Thursday, 6-box break." They'll have your teams lined up when they start the stream. If they don't sell out by a certain time, they start to play a little bit of a game with spinning a wheel, picking a team, getting 2 teams.
Right. Here's what I'm getting at, though. The question is
what if my duck doesn't win the race? Then what?
You get the worst.
You get Deshaun Watson number to 25.
I'm just saying. We just had a question where someone asked, is it tougher to get into the hobby today? And we were all like, it depends on what you want to do. And then your actual answer to that was, Of course, it's easy to get in. You can break. So now what I'm trying to find out is if you're someone on a budget with very little, what is the cheapest entry point that I can get into a Prism football break? So it's going to be one box.
Do you know the name of the website that
goes down to one
the break and the people that are
Comp.
Break Comp. So you go to Break Comp. That will tell you the cheapest person selling into a break and what it costs.
I don't want to go to Break Comp. I want you to tell me.
You just asked why it's so easy. It's easy because somebody's already telling you everything to go do.
I'm just saying. Okay, so I see $35
I love when Stephen Ham like mom and dad.
I'm just saying.
Ham, if you can't break down the math, then how are we supposed to trust it and believe it?
Because the math changes based on the individual breaking the product.
So I see $35 per spot per random team. So does that mean if I take the Saints or if I take the Browns or if I take some bootylicious team that I'm getting it for $15 or $20? If a random team is $35, how much cheaper is it in a pick your team than $35 to get the cheapest team? Did Ham freeze?
Sure. Oh, I thought he was thinking.
Damn, that's one way to get out of answering the question.
I think he raged, unplugged his internet. like a mad kid on.
He got the hand out and everything.
This is what Ham does in court.
You screenshot that? That's a pretty good meme right there. That's a good meme pose right
Can we
there.
get a picture? Someone take a picture of this. Can we screenshot this? How do I do it? Damn it.
But anyway, that's what I'm asking. I'm asking because if someone really wanted to get into a product that's decently enough to buy, how much would they
so
be
mad
out of
at
their
Steve, he
pocket?
literally unplugged the internet cable from the wall.
He kicked the wall and the internet cable flopped off.
He stuck his big toe in the socket.
So yes, going to Timepiece, there was definitely some stuff lost. I'm trying to remember the guy's name on IG that was talking about. That
one guy alone lost like.
Thank you, Brad.
Millions of dollars, probably.
So Brad, thank you for the answer because Brad says so. The group that he has or that he's in, random box is 40 a spot. Browns are cheap at 15. Commanders are high at 75.
And that's one box.
That's one box. So $15, and you get all the Cleveland Browns. Your heart's delight.
So breaks are actually good if you want the Saints or the Browns.
You take all your Cleveland Brown cards and massage them all over your body like Neo does.
All right, Neo, what are your thoughts on Topps Chrome basketball and football? The whole unlicensed bit and all that stuff this year.
Trash.
Steve? I also vote trash. Steve?
What?
Topps Chrome unlicensed basketball and football.
Oh, Topps Chrome. I just don't like unlicensed. I don't. I'm not going to be buying any of it.
Flush my top sponsorship that I don't have down the window right now.
Luckily, I have booked the room for the national giveaway winner. I don't even have a place to stay yet, but whoever wins the giveaway has a room at the West.
Better win the giveaway.
I'm gonna win my own giveaway. I got enough disguises on here. I think I might be able to pull it off. I'll put on my wrestling mask.
I can see Sports Card Radio coming out of retirement to cover Steve winning his own national giveaway.
Yeah. Hey, look, guys, we had to do it. Yeah, do your own rug pull national giveaway. You've earned it, Steve. Just do it.
Now, my first giveaway, Ham competed and almost won. And now we've come to the point to where Ham is, this was before Ham was in the stream and stuff like that.
Brad, I hope it's Spencer Rattler next year, just because next year is going to be a throwaway year for us as we tank for Arch, whether he comes out in 2026 or 2027. I will pay for my season tickets regardless. If they say, hey, dude, we're not going to win one game for the next year, maybe two to get Arch, I'm still paying for my tickets. Ham, what the hell? I added you to the stream and it's just black. You're gone again. Man, that's creepy. What's this, Tales from the Crypt?
What's he got, that hurricane internet or something, or what?
Good Lord, man.
This is why Fanatics Fest had to cancel.
He's frozen in the background.
We're going to end the stream. I got the last word in on you, Ham.
He's frozen in the background.
This is exactly why Fanatics had to cancel Fanatics Fest Orlando. Look at the infrastructure in Florida.
No, I didn't, Ziggy.
Ed, I thought that the WNBA Prism was coming out in January, but it looks like it's coming out in March. So I don't know if it's just late in coming out in March. I thought originally it was supposed to be January.
I think it keeps getting pushed back.
Yeah, I think it's March now, which I think the season starts like April or May. So I don't know. I've still got my select stuff at PSA.
The last comment from you, Ziggy, that came through on my channel says, what if you want a Daniels auto? And then you said, think Steve blocked me. So I saw everything up until what if you want a Daniels auto?
Why you blocking Ziggy?
Ziggy, just keep trying different accounts and different channels, and one of them probably won't be blocked.
But he's on the live. He commented it on the live stream from someone else's channel now because there's no paper clip on it. There was a paper.
Oh wait, is he back? Are you okay?
The snow from Tallahassee cut off the line. It's been hard to get back on.
Hey, that's how you went out.
His hand was like this.
I don't know what anybody's talking about. Random repacks, give some. I don't know what this is. I don't know the context.
This is when Steve and Ham are arguing.
Yeah, I'm in Neo spot now, so I got to sit here and act like I'm watching the Cavs game.
It's your game. They were down like 10 to Houston, and they have to put a big rally on.
Sideways.
We're mid Cavalanche right now.
Timepiece is breaking hearts, not boxes. Kenny G, hell no.
You say current on chat, it would make more sense on what they're talking about versus.
They're still on the other other conversation. Got it.
$40 for a random spin, so you can get the Browns for 15.
This is why I watched the Cavs during the lives.
You're just catching up to that. It's like 5 minutes ago.
Well, if it's only 5 minutes ago, then that's good. All right. Come in. Blah 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 blah. Breaks. Blah breaks.
Ziggy, I referenced your $35. That's how I said I knew that it was per spot.
Okay, wait. I'm checking it. Is this going to be some sort of a virus? All right.
That's where I pulled the $35 from. That you
probably screenshotted it.
That you said in the chat, Ziggy, when I was talking about it. $35.
Wait a second. Ziggy's charging $35, but the other guy said it's $15. Ham said it's $15.
No, for the Browns it's 15. For random spots, 35.
Random.
Okay, because I heard the way I heard that was Ziggy charges twice as much as everybody else. That's what I know.
Video tomorrow.
That'll probably be tomorrow's video.
No, I read Ziggy's comment at 10:01 that said one box random team, $35 per spot. They came in back to back, kind of.
Some
I referenced those, Ziggy. I didn't ignore them.
I don't see it yet.
Where I pulled the numbers from.
I don't see it yet there. I don't see it yet. Hasn't come through.
Where are you sending it to? Instagram, YouTube?
Yeah.
Sitting on your front porch with a printout.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't gotten it yet, MW. Kenny G just comes right out with it, doesn't mince words. How can I make the most money in the hobby by ripping people off?
Did you answer your own question, or how are you asking how to rip people off? Because you could, that could be the question and the answer all in the same comment. How can I make money in this hobby? By ripping people off.
Oh, man. There's a lot of overpriced junk out there. A lot of overpriced junk. But you know what's not overpriced junk is the upside down repack that the off-center team is building. The rest of the game doesn't yet. Yeah, the rest of the you haven't gotten the memo yet about it. Here.
Oh,
announcing it.
The memo hasn't come through yet.
The upside down repack is coming, and it won't. Oh, here we go. Oh, good. Yes. All right. How do I do this? All right. I might have to save this. This might. Yeah. I got the pick though. Thanks, Matt W.
Just click present down at the bottom of the screen, and then you tell it what tab you want to share.
I don't know if I want all my banking information or whatever else on this thing, so I'm just going to hold on that share.
You don't want to show how much you've actually spent on Pokemon cards in the last one. When does your
make the most money in the hobby?
Are you saving the I'm addicted to Pokemon cards for February or March?
We'll see how it goes.
When do you need to boost? When do you need to boost views by dropping that video?
I'm doing just fine. Don't make fun of me. Don't make fun of me. That's hurtful.
Card Vibe. I've bought 3 items this week, and I have an offer in on another.
Yeah,
but if I tell you now, I won't be able to show you in a video.
Had a sports card come in.
Is that the Gold Breeze?
Yes, the Gold Brilliance Breeze. Yeah.
Your lighting's not doing it any justice.
No, it's not. You can see kind of like.
I want to see the bling.
I need to get better lighting in here.
Better lighting, better camera, better mic.
Well, okay. I've got like the LCD lights, the LSD, the LSD. I've got the LSD
lights. The LSD lights.
I've got the LSD lights.
Pink Floyd light.
But here's the deal: if you have bright lights, you have bright lights, and all your stuff fades. So I'm not interested in that. So
Yeah, I bought some cards. I'm just waiting for them all to come in.
Ripping list coming in. Is this live every single time?
Neo, I saw you getting some hate on your Marvel Masterpieces video. Somebody was like, they give you a free box. They should give
because
free
I had
boxes
Cavs cards in the background.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I was like, uh-oh. Neo's stepping off the toes. He treading into some other people's
Yeah, what did he say? That those should go to a small channel that's looking the bill. Why are you getting them?
Marvel card turf wars coming soon.
Yeah. Marvel cards. Don't piss off the Marvel card collectors. They'll come for you.
I did see a 3D Batman card hologram that I'd never seen before. It's one of the holograms that you can actually, when you position it and spin it, the hologram is actually closer to 4D because it actually moves all the way around. Around it. I think it's from like 94. Let's see here. I was following one on eBay. I was like, oh, I'll probably pick one of those up. I love hologram cards. Yeah, 94 Skybox. They have a Batman and a Superman hologram. And what a guy did is, you know how we have those, or people have those little displays that spin? He basically set the card up where the light hits it really good and then turns it on the spin, and you see the entire motion of the card in that 3D hologram. It's a really cool video that he made.
Once that repack comes out, it's going to be 10 minutes and 30 seconds of ads.
Guys, it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it.
You bump the ads up to 90%. 10% show, 90% ads.
Brad, will we have a local show coming up?
Working. It's working. It's all working. It's all working, Catfish. It's all
Brad
working.
Noble says, Neo, there's a local card show coming up in March, but Brad's a little kind of local to me. So are you referring local to Neo or local to us? Okay. Got us confused. Okay. Is that going to be in Ocean City?
Neo, did you freeze? Oh, God. I thought that was another
cool.
How you doing, Peter?
I have a 600 table show next weekend, like an hour and a half for me.
You hit a lot of shows. Are there just a lot of shows around you? It feels like you have a show every weekend.
Yeah, Washington, PA shows next weekend. They've blown that show up. It's like 600 tables now. It literally takes over an old abandoned mall. Like the whole entire mall is completely filled with just
like a platinum member. Is it the same promoter?
No, different promoter. Then I got Chip Shawana at the end of February, and they blew that show up too. He's got a brand new, bigger venue.
We are not.
We asked this questions a couple weeks ago, but I've been trying to narrow it down. When I go to New York City in a couple weeks, where am I going to get the pizza at? And guys, where's a good card?
Fezzo's.
Oh yeah, you told me Fezzo's, but I've been told John's at Bleecker Street.
That's the most popular one. It's good. It's solid.
Whatever Portnoy says, just go to that.
That's what I've been watching, Portnoy.
Yeah, that's John's. He loves John's. It's one of those places you like have to eat at if you've never been there before, at least once, just to say that you have.
What about is there any card shops in the Manhattan area? Is there
Bleecker Trading, which is right down the street from John's and Bleecker?
That's what I figured. I know it's on Bleecker Street, but
David Adams has a new shop now in the Empire State.
But it's probably priced like it's in Manhattan.
Yeah, you're not getting any deals at Bleecker Trading.
Great
guy, that's right.
10 seconds worth of B-roll
in a different country. So.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to find
Panini One out in Russia or whatever.
I bought Panini One in Budapest.
and then you tried to get a hooker
for
right. That was
what did I have to spend? What kind of money was it? It wasn't even US dollars. It was the Hungarian what was the money called? I can't remember now.
Oh, it was like 6,000, whatever their money is.
Yeah, it was like thousands.
Yeah, like lira or something.
Like y'all like counting really hard, don't you?
I can't remember because all 4 countries I went to had different money.
The 600 table show, Peter, is in Washington, Pennsylvania, the southwest corner, right by Wheeling, West Virginia. I think it's a 3-day show next weekend.
How far is the drive?
Like just under 2 hours.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
to that West Ohio.
See, up there, everybody's willing to drive somewhere. Down here in Tampa, nobody wants to drive anywhere.
Wow,
I don't even drive to Orlando.
I don't have I-4 traffic to deal with.
You want to go deal with Orlando traffic?
Yeah, no.
We drove everywhere in Tampa last time I was down there. Ham, remember? Remember when we met at the fishing pier and didn't catch anything?
Steve will never forget.
Even Kent, next time he's down here, I gotta get him some fish.
Even Kent from the Marvel card community came.
The Marvel card community.
He came up from a
real Marvel
Naples,
card
right?
collector.
He came up from like Naples, Florida, or something like that. And
I haven't talked to him for a minute. I know he's got life stuff going on. So
let's just say we had to go buy our grouper sandwiches.
But you promised we were going to fillet our lunch after we caught it.
Ham has all these stickers on his car that says he's like in the Professional Fisherman's Club and everything else. And it's like, okay, you definitely bought those.
You just caught him on he had a bad game. Everyone has a bad game.
It represents the gear, the group of people I know that that have a fishing community here that are guides. So I basically do some free advertising for them by putting some stickers on my car because I appreciate them.
He's like a fake card collector. He just buys high-end cards but don't know what they are, so everyone thinks he's more important than what he is.
That's right. I do.
But, he's got a George PSA. He must be legit.
I have records. I have what else do I have? I got an old telephone over there, the old rotary dial where you had to wait for it to come all the way back.
Oh yeah,
I don't know what that means.
I got one of those. Not hooked up.
I have a red, white, and blue candlestick phone over here. I got a warthog on the wall, mountain goat.
Yeah, the internet goes through the rotary phone.
It does. That's part of the problem.
I got one of those old phones that's like got the speaker on the front. That's
candlestick. I have one over here.
You turn the thing and you hang the earpiece on the side.
What's up, Rex? Card Vibe is standing out front of a Walmart overnight for the Pokemon.
Fun fact: at my Walmart today, I had to tell the guys inside to go outside and pick up the heroin needle out of the parking lot.
Jesus.
It's
like, hey, y'all gotta go out here and pick this crap up. Y'all don't pick your parking lot up.
What part of Tampa were you at?
It's right there at 275 in Del Mabry.
The hot part.
Oh, geez. Like, yeah, right off of Del Mabry. Okay.
Yeah, it's just somebody was in their car doing stupid shit. They decided to dump all their stuff outside the car.
Dustin, should I walk into a Target tomorrow morning and just throw this on the ground and just record it?
Neo had to kill
out there that. And then just
Neo had to kill three grown men to get that ETB box.
You take the packs out and then you reseal it and then you throw it, and you say free for whoever wants it. Just watch them fight. Be like seagulls at the beach with the Dorito.
Yeah.
What is the update? What is the update Jumbo done since your video about it?
I haven't looked today. I haven't had time to really look at much today.
Horribly.
Basically. Is it interesting that
I know regular hobby boxes tanked.
Do you find it interesting that the person that pulled it's been so secretive about it?
No, I'd be secretive about it too if I pulled it.
I don't even think you would have let anybody know you pulled it. Like you would have posted a video 5 days after you sold it.
Yeah, I would have documented it all, but I would have saved it and waited to post until after everything was done.
I'm assuming that he pulled it at home, because if he would have pulled it at a shop, there's no way that wouldn't.
Yeah, I've heard some background on it, but I don't know that it's public, so I don't want to say anything. But that's the vibes that I got.
How is it if you heard it, it's not public?
It's all about the vibes. That's what I heard.
Public when it's in it's not public when it's in DMs.
Okay.
I don't know about the Silver Spring Crazy Kev. It looks like it's about a 2-hour drive for me on probably a day that I'm going to have to work. Like it would depend on, like I've done that for Philly shows or Chantilly shows, but I don't know if the Silver Spring show would be, those I knew it would be worth my while to go because they're bigger shows. I don't know about a Silver Spring show or not. Now, Ocean City, which is close, is probably doable.
All right, gents, we're at the end of the chat. We're an hour 20 in, running a little short of the usual time. Anything else we want to touch on, or I'm going to hit the sack? I'm East Coast. And Neo doesn't, he's got nothing to do.
Yeah, there's 4 seconds left in the Cavs game.
4 seconds?
What's the score?
You were by now.
What's the score?
Rockets are at the free throw line. They're down 1 at the moment.
Who's on the line?
Alfred Sengun. He just drilled the first one, so they're down 1. He's about to shoot the second one.
We got to hang out for.
Well, we have to wait for this.
Jubilation.
No, I throw it off the backboard, catch it, and then slam it in there for 2 and for the win.
Ham would throw it off the backboard, jump from the free throw line, dunk it to end the game.
Who's the best player?
They're all like 9 feet tall. It shouldn't be that hard.
Who's their best player?
Who?
Is it Mitchell?
Cavs?
Yeah.
They're equal opportunity. They have 4 amazing players.
Wow, look at that.
So there's not a best?
Can you name them in alphabetical order, please?
No.
Who has the most hobby relevance?
Oh,
Mitchell.
Yeah.
It's not
then
Garland.
do you still have your Cavs guys? You have some Cavs cards, don't you?
Yeah.
You still have that.
He got bitched at for having him in his Marvel video.
Yeah, they're all on my desk right now, most of them.
They're like, hey, buddy, I don't know who you think you are having these basketball cards on your desk.
That's pretty close to the comment.
Yeah. If you're going to be having a Marvel product for free, shouldn't you have some Marvel cards in the background?
Yeah, he said I basically disrespected the Marvel card hobby because I got a free box from Upper Deck, and I didn't even put Marvel cards in the background.
Some of the fun news for me. Commenters got to get a life. Got to get a life. Got to get better things to do.
Now that they have the WWE license, just reinstated their digital app for WWE cards, which I'm excited about because anybody that had it prior to them losing it a few years back, all your cards are still there as long as you remember.
Are they actual cards though, or are they just pictures of cards?
Pictures of cards, but it's
pictures of pictures.
What do you think a card is? It's a picture of a thing. But yeah, so
pictures of men on them.
No, I like the women. I collect the women.
Yeah, WWE Chrome or WWE will have pictures of women too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the wrestling.
Did you get any Chrome boxes?
It's the women outsell the men.
Yeah, they got Ray Ripley right there. Did you get any Chrome boxes, Ham?
No, not yet.
You're not ripping any, or you're just gonna buy the breaks?
Doesn't it release the 30th, the 31st?
Oh, I got a question. If you buy into a wrestling break, how does that work? Do you just get a certain wrestler?
Yeah, because they haven't launched yet, have they, Neo?
No, not yet.
Yeah, that's what I've been waiting. I have it saved in my phone for like an hour prior to.
Well, no, they launched on Topps' website for pre-order.
I was waiting for it to drop for regular. I would miss the pre-order.
Oh yeah, I ordered them like a week ago. They did an EQL drop for them.
Yeah, so if you get into a wrestling break, how does that work? You just get a wrestler?
Well, Ham doesn't know. Ham doesn't know, and Ziggy will charge you 3 times market. So that's
a lot of times it's by letter, Steve. So then when you get in like National Treasures, it's going to be letter, or they'll do serial numbers if everything's a serial number based on the set. So like if you get R, you would get Rhea.
Because I mean, I feel like the wrestling roster is so big that it's like
they combine.
You really get skunked unless you get a group of names. Like,
yeah, that's what they do. They'll do that. They'll do like where one slot will have 5 letters because there's only.
And they'd be putting like people in the product that aren't even like relevant, really.
Yeah, just like they do with baseball. I mean, baseball.
Yeah, but you get an entire team in baseball.
I mean, look, they put this Kool-Aid cat in freaking Prism. I mean,
yeah, but you get the entire team. I'm talking about you get one person.
They'll do where you can buy a person, and it's at a much usually cheaper spot. Like if they're doing a case of like NT or something like that. With stuff that's like wrestling where it's more name driven, you can do it that way. So like when they're doing it, and because some of those are big checklists, so it'd be $5 to get in on a spot. Now hitting a card because of the limited amount of cards might not do you well, but let's face it, most of these stuff when you break them, the big names, you don't see a lot of those versus the little names. So you can actually do well if you play your cards right in picking the right people, and you can follow breaks and kind of see how. Especially with NT, you can kind of see how stuff breaks out over time, and you can also catch what would be more valuable.
It just seems very vast because the wrestling card products involve all the relevant guys, all the people who aren't relevant, all the different brands. Raw, SmackDown, NXT. Yeah. Then you even got all the retired guys, like we're talking about, Undertaker and stuff being in the break. Actually, it seems like the retired guys in the wrestling product hold more value than the current which is completely different from every other sport. Like you're hoping to get a Stone Cold or an Undertaker or something like that when you're breaking wrestling, as opposed to getting somebody that's new right now.
The Rock, for instance, that's what's really driving the new Topps Chrome.
Well, that'll be like the first time he signed in a product since the old
like 20 years
card, right? Yeah.
All right, the Cavs are down 2. Garland's at the line to shoot 3 free throws, and he missed the first one. You asshole!
Boy.
So here's something cool, Steve. In the one of my favorite cards that I have in the digital app is the Andre the Giant autograph card, because obviously he doesn't have anything like that.
No, the only autograph
you're killing
not
me.
doing well over there.
The only pack pulled auto I've seen of Andre the Giant was in a couple years ago in the Transcendent, and it was a cut auto of Andre the Giant with, I think the other side of it was on card, but it was Bobby Heenan.
Yeah, but with the digital side of it, you have the ability to do things like this, and these cards resell on eBay.
And that was on eBay for $5,000, and somebody bought it.
But these digital cards, people sell them on eBay because you need them. You know, like ePack, where you have to collect a set in order to get a specific chase card. They do this in these apps as well. So you have to collect a set in order to get the prize card. So
is Topps Chrome going to be on card autos?
All the pictures I've seen, that's what they're depicting. So Neo's falling out here. He's not doing too well.
I think the Cavs just played the game.
Neo's about to break everything in the room.
Oh my!
He's like, my internet's going down like hams.
That Sentinel in the background's about to start blasting things in the room.
Is it
remote control? Sentinel.
Cavs are down 2. Garland got fouled and a flagrant, had 3 free throws, and they got the ball, and they lost. He missed 2 of the 3. Couldn't even tie it to send it to overtime. And then Mitchell missed a buzzer beater. You son of a
when everything goes bad.
These are the losses that make you stronger in the long run.
It's only like their 7th loss of the season.
Yeah. All right, boys. I need to get my beauty sleep, get back at it in the morning. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for another episode of Off Centered. 5 years running. 5 years running.
You have to figure out when the anniversary is.
Maybe in a couple weeks we'll have a face on that you haven't seen in a couple of years. Maybe that'll be our stick. We'll bring back a content creator that you haven't
people
seen
from the dead.
Yeah, let's see who would be a good choice that we didn't name already.
There's actually a lot of options for like content creators that aren't around anymore. We'll find one. Hobby Box. Let's go. Reach out to Hobby Box.
I haven't seen him at a show recently. I saw him in November. He set up at a show. Yeah,
he's still around. Yeah,
yeah. He lives in St. Pete.
Nice guy too. Nice guy.
Yep.
All right, boys. We will see you in 2 weeks. Everybody, have an amazing rest of your week.
Take care, guys.
See ya.